Hi kiddos, welcome to Nolly. I'm Mrs. Moore and I'm going to take you on a tour of the building. Since we can't have open house, let's go see what the building looks like right now. Now remember, whenever you come to school, you're going to be wearing your masks. So as you come through the door, make sure your masks are on because we have a temperature checker that's going to be checking to make sure that you are fever free for that day.
Temperature is normal.
Good. So now I'm able to walk right through.
Temperature is normal.
Okay, now I'm going to take my mask off right now just so that you can hear me a little bit clearer just for this video. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a few things around the building that might look really familiar to you, but there's also some things around the building that might look pretty different. So I want to make sure you guys see that so you know what you're expecting. Let's go. Let's start with the things that you're familiar with first. We're going to show you where the classrooms are. So I'm going to start with the different grade levels, and of course our kindergartners, this is your first time coming to Nolly and we're so excited to have you. When you walk through these doors, first of all, we're going to call this the foyer. When you walk through the foyer, you're going to be making a left and all of your classrooms are right down this way. Let's go find them. All right, kindergartners, so as you're walking down this hallway, you're going to come to a point where you're going to either have to go right or you're going to go left. So depending on which kindergarten teacher you have, you're going to go either to the right or you might go to the left. But don't worry, kindergartners, the teachers are going to be here to make sure that you know exactly where to go. Kindergartners, aren't you the lucky ones? You guys are going to have two new faces this year as your teachers. We'd like to welcome Mrs. Parton and Mrs. Goubeau down at the other end of the hallway. Mrs. Parton, we love your board. We know that the kids are the reason why you're here. So here we are back in the foyer, and now we're going to show the first graders where you're going to go. As soon as you come through and you've got your temperature checked, you've got two ways to go also. So some first graders, if you have Mrs. Carmichael or Mrs. Rector, all you're going to do is you're just going to keep walking straight down this hallway. But if you have Mrs. Fiesler or Mrs. Bowser, you're going to make a right and you're going to go straight up the ramp to get to your classrooms. But the great thing about first grade is on the first day of school, you guys are all going to come and you're going to go right into the gym right here, just so all the teachers can make sure that you get to the right spot. Speaking of the gym, this is where you guys are going to be doing lots of fun activities. Back to the foyer again. Now, all of our second, third, and fourth graders, you guys probably already know right where to go, but we do have some new Nolly students, so let's make sure that we show them where to go. Once you guys come through after getting your temperature checked, you're all going to be making a right. I'm going to show you a few things as we go that might look a little bit different. Notice the water fountains look a little bit different this year. We're not going to have any drinks using our mouth at the water fountain. This time you're going to put your water bottle right where that sensor is, and it's going to pour water in there for you. There you go. Now we're in the hallway passing by a couple first grade classrooms, but I want you to take a look on the ground and I want you to notice that we do have some stickers on the ground showing you where you should be standing, so that way we're keeping a good social distance. Now we're coming up where the third grade classrooms are. Keep in mind, kiddos, we have one of our teachers that's a new third grade teacher. Welcome, Mrs. Braley. So you've already got to see the gym. When you're in this main hallway, when you get about halfway down, you're going to notice that the media center is going to be right on your right-hand side. Typically, Mrs. Cash is in here and she's doing a lot of work with the computers and the library, but this year Mrs. Walker is going to be doing a lot of the library part of this job, and Mrs. Cash is going to be more in the classrooms. Let's continue on. So when you get to the end of our main hallway, here, if you're going to have art class, you're going to be making a right, or if you're going to be going to Title I. So over here to your left-hand side is going to be Mrs. Hawksworth with art. And going straight down to the end of the hallway, you're going to be going to your Title I class. We might see a new face whenever you're in there. Welcome, Mrs. Nagy. All right, so at the end of the hallway again, if you're going to go see Mrs. Tucker, you're just going to be going straight ahead. But if you're one of our 2nd and 4th grade students, you're going to be making a left right here and go straight down this hall. That's where you're going to find your classroom. Right, so our 3rd and 4th grade kids, you guys might be going to Mrs. Barron's, but I want you to show you something that might look a little bit different again. In her room, you're going to notice that there's some dividers that are up on the tables. Again, we're doing whatever we can to make sure that you kids are staying safe while you're in school. 2nd graders, these are your classrooms. The first 4 rooms going down this hallway are where you're going to find your teachers. Right past the 2nd grade classes, you're going to find the 4th grade classrooms. 4th graders, you guys have been around a while. You know that you're all the way down at the other end of the hallway. But you might see a familiar face. Mrs. Gardner's now on our 4th grade team. Welcome, Mrs. Gardner. As you're walking, one other thing that you might notice that's a little bit different is this year Nolly has some fans that are going to be throughout the hallways. We're working on making sure that we're getting our air flowing throughout the building so that, again, all the students and the teachers are able to stay safe. As we're walking back down towards the main foyer, I want to make sure I show you a regular classroom because a lot of the teachers have worked really hard making sure that their desks are all spaced out so that way, again, you're staying safe. Great job, Mrs. Fiesler. As we're finishing up at the end of this hallway, we can't forget some of the people that make our building run smoothly all day, every day. This is where you're going to find Mrs. Briggs and Mrs. Sueno, our school secretaries, and they're here to help with anything that you might need. As you come through the office, you'll notice this is where Mrs. Pappas, our principal, is going to be. And if you come down just a little bit, you'll see Mrs. Prex's office, our school counselor. And a little bit further from that is going to be Mrs. Teeters, where our school nurse is going to be. So another thing I wanted to make sure that we showed you is whenever you come to the lunch line, you're going to notice that there's a couple of things that are a little bit different there too. There's going to be some plexiglass, which is kind of just like a clear glass that's going to make sure that our lunch lady is being protected while you guys are getting your food. This year, no kids are going to be entering their numbers on the keypad. Instead, there's going to be an adult that's going to be here doing that for you. We're still going to have 2 lunch lines. The first one's going to be right over here at the side entrance of the gym, and the second one is going to be right over here, and you're going to notice that there is still plexiglass that's going to be there, making sure, again, that everyone is staying safe. So right past where you get your lunch, you're going to notice that this is where Mr. Daly's office is, and we want to say thanks so much to all of our custodial staff who's done such a great job over the summer making sure our building is in tip-top shape. Right after Mr. Daly, you're going to notice this is where our music class is. There is something different in the music class. You're going to notice that instead of having risers or a carpet, we now have chairs that are going to be in here. Thanks, Mrs. Pazzo, for keeping our kids safe. All right, so even our car riders that are getting dropped off in the mornings, make sure you guys wear your mask because we have another thermal scanner even over here. And if you aren't wearing it, it's going to let you know. I feel like most kids are pretty familiar with what masks look like because they're pretty used to wearing them also. But there is something that might be a little bit different that you might see in the classrooms. If the teachers are already 6 feet apart, they actually can just wear one of the face masks. So it's going to look something just like this. If they have this on, this is still keeping them and you safe. Another thing, because we know all this looks pretty different, some of the teachers might even be wearing a different badge where you can see what their face looks like without all the coverings on. So that's going to do it for our trip around Nolly. I hope that you guys had a great time seeing what the school building looks like. We've all been working so hard making sure that it looks great and is safe for all of you. Now, no one's perfect, so we're going to do our best all working together to make sure that you all and we all have a really great, successful year. We can't wait to see you guys on your first day of school. We're all in this together.